Hi guys, today we're going to talk about personality and learning styles. So personality, our book did not really provide a good definition of personality, but I found this one from Costa, McRae, and Kay that I thought was pretty good. Lasting styles, so personality is lasting styles of thinking, feeling, and acting that describe a person. In our book, Poropat, he discusses the 5-factor model. He says it's currently dominating personality research in general and educational psychology, and that it's based on the lexical hypothesis, which is the idea that most languages have more descriptors or adjectives for the most important individual differences. He describes it as cars became more popular, we increased our vocabulary for the makes and models of cars, and I've heard something similar with like Eskimos and the amount of words that they have to describe snow. So I think those are similar ideas of where this lexical hypothesis comes from. So the 5 factors that that are part of this model are agreeableness, conscientiousness, emotional stability or neuroticism, which emotional stability is the positive side and neuroticism would be the negative side, extraversion and openness. The NEO-PI3 is a test or assessment tool that is supposed to measure how you relate to the 5 factors. So they put this little square to your right shows different scales on the 5 factors, so you can kind of see what this particular assessment uses. From what I can tell, this one is a very popular measure to use for the 5 factors. So the first factor we're going to talk about is agreeableness, and it reflects pro-social tendencies as opposed to antagonistic. They say this one it shows up a lot and across different cultures, and so they say this one may be a universal personality dimension, and it's modestly associated with learning outcomes. They said it's linked with extrinsic motivation, so students who are high in agreeableness, they can get past the mundane of maybe doing homework because they see the value in it, so they will actually do their homework. And they said it's also linked with time management, which is linked with your GPA. The second factor is conscientiousness, and they say this one is the longest recognized personality dimension, and it is the most important as far as predictor of academic performance. It includes things like self-regulation, persistence, adhering to social norms, planfulness, rule following, and the ability to screen out distractions while participating in activities. It's also associated with intentions to transfer learning and stress management. He provides a little quote here. He starts off by saying it's good to be smart and it's good to make a lot of effort, but effort provides greater opportunities to demonstrate and profit from being smart. The third factor is emotional stability, and of course there's the negative versions, neuroticism and negative affectivity. This one does not seem to be reliable across cultures, and he says that a low emotional stability is associated with heightened anticipation of and sensitivity to distressing stimuli, interruption of task, and slow recovery from distress. And high emotional stability is associated with a greater focus on homework, which leads to better academic performance. High emotional stability is negatively correlated with avoidance, anxiety, withdrawal, and being discouraged. So high emotional stability is low neuroticism. High neuroticism is low emotional stability. The fourth is extraversion. And this one is also reliable across cultures, and it's linked with activity level, low behavioral inhibition, high approach towards novelty, positive affect, and impulsivity. But the impact on academic performance is modest with elementary students, and diminishes as the students age. And he also says that it may only affect learning in certain circumstances. So if students are allowed to explore and play, so they can, participate in their curiosity, and the ability to impulsively blurt out is supposed to help improve learning for people high in extraversion. The last factor is openness, and it's the most controversial because there's discrepancy among its content and its reliability across cultures. However, it is most closely associated with learning and academic performance. It's associated with curiosity, a desire to achieve greater ability, and intrinsic motivation to know. They enjoy thinking and self-improvement. So it's also associated with time management and effort regulation, which are said to increase academic performance. And those high in openness, they learn more, but they may not have a desire to actually perform for a grade. So some conclusions. There are a lot of overlaps between personality and intelligence, and those overlaps are indicative of the complex relationships with learning outcomes. And personality assessments should be able to assist with identifying students who are likely to benefit from developmental programs, as well as guide decisions about appropriate learning strategies for those students. And here are my references. Thank you for your time.